What's up, everybody? This is the Anime Squad Podcast, episode 12. My name is Robbie.
And this is Omar. I'm back.
And this is David.
All right, and we're bringing you guys their 12th episode of the Spring Anime Season week. Before we start, of course, we have our Discord that we want to plug in. Let us know your guys' comments and everything like that. But more importantly, though, we also now have a Spotify that we want you guys to check out each week. We'll be uploading basically around the same time as here on YouTube, of course, without the video and everything. Definitely check that out. Links are on the description below. All right, now to start things off, ironically cap things off, we finally caught up. Yeah, we finally caught up to My Next Life as a Villainess, and seeing as this is episode 12, final one, we only have one for this one. And yeah, it's just a continuation of what we saw from last week with Sirius. The gang and whatnot go to the basement and find him, and you get to see his origin.
Yeah.
It's kind of what his whole deal was about, and I'm not gonna lie, I got a lot of Bible Black.
Oh, God.
I got a lot of Bible Black vibes. I'm gonna have to say this because that's the vibe I got when I saw them, put him in the circle, the little ritual circle thing.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminded me of that, but it's a lot more tame. Obviously, there's not a lot of
Yeah, it's not hardcore like Bible Black.
No.
Yeah, like the whole thing was pretty much the other son was bad.
Yeah.
His health was.
It involves this whole first wife, second wife, son thing, and the second official wife had a son, and he had a life-threatening disease. His name was Sirius, and it turns out that this first son was healthy and everything, but they kidnapped him, and his mom sacrificed the mom to put the memories of the dying kid into the living kid. And
well, not the memory, but the health
and everything.
Since the other one was dead.
Basically, they were trying to transmutate the two into one and basically overtake the second kid, the dying kid, to the original.
With dark magic.
All kind of messed up stuff.
Yeah, instead of Helen, the drama for my mama, she took it to the next level.
Yeah, so for a show like this, definitely a radical dark tone shift as far as origin stories go.
Yeah, but it makes sense,
Oh yeah, because he's the secret DLC. Well, the secret character. I keep saying DLC. No, he's just a secret character.
The secret route.
Yeah.
Secret darkness.
Mm-hmm. So, but Katarina, of course, with the power of friendship, and actually no, not so much friendship, but just the power of her being a villainess, because this whole dark magic shenanigans doesn't affect her as much.
Yeah.
And she's like,
I thought that was cool. She confronted her villainous side. She's like, I could withstand the darkness.
I can withstand the darkness, so I'm gonna hug you and let you know that you matter.
Yeah.
Raphael. Oh, name drop.
Yeah.
That's his actual name.
Yeah, stand by her side. His side.
Yeah.
Now I remember. I don't know. Reminded me of some earlier season.
Yeah.
But yeah,
yeah. That got resolved. That was only half the episode, because the latter half was meant to kind of determine as to whether or not Katarina makes it. The whole point of the series, or the season, I guess, was to confirm as to whether or not Katarina was going to make it through the end of the game.
Of what was it?
The second year of school. And
she asked Maria?
Yeah, she asked Maria to see hey, are you who are you attracted to? Who do you confess to?
Because she was
Maria's hey, it's you. I love you. But what about the boys? I'm not attracted to any boy in particular, but you're my idol, and I love you. Everybody else jumps in on that wagon. That's when it occurred to Katarina. It's like, oh, this is the friendship ending. It's not bad ending, but it means everybody's A-okay. Best friends forever.
It's like if you're playing the game, you got the friendship ending. You're like, that sucks.
Yeah.
I don't think that exists, though.
No, that's the thing. It's, okay, so I want to get this over with. I want to talk about this later. But yeah, so, going back to the plot, though, everything's all fine and dandy. Raphael comes. He's like, hey, I'm sorry about what happened earlier and everything. And they all forgive him because that's what friends are for.
Yeah.
They revealed as to why he was kind of like doing this in the first place, and because of the fact that he misinterpreted as a kid. He thought that he was supposed to avenge his mom when his mom was stabbed in the torso. But it's actually not. She said to the classic line, live, keep on living.
Yeah,
that was her line. And the whole revenge thing, the whole like evil plot stuff was actually not him. It was actually him being possessed by the
Sirius, right?
No, not Sirius.
No, by the guy that did the ceremony.
That did the ritual in the first place, and
the guy with no name.
Yeah. No face.
With no face.
No one knows his name.
The one that did the dark magic. No?
Yeah, he was the one that did the dark magic, and he actually possessed Raphael in the first place, and he was the one that
manipulated
and orchestrated the whole thing. So he wasn't evil.
He was the mastermind.
He was the mastermind.
No name villain.
But then he, again, power of love and friendship, faded.
The shining light destroyed him.
So that was the show.
Yeah.
That was the show.
Friendship ending.
Friendship wins out. The one thing I kind of want to bring up though is that she said that she unlocked the friendship ending, and with me, I was thinking that like if this was in the actual game, how does it play out in the game itself? Because like Katarina's original personality was way different than this one. Since this one's a reincarnated
like I said, I don't think they had an ending like that.
Probably didn't have a friendship ending. She's still in denial of the fact that...
I think she just made it up her own.
Yeah, I think so too.
She made her own route.
Weird.
Yeah. She carved her own path.
Yeah,
as
pretty
I
much.
Like to call it, yeah. But yeah, overall,
so since this is the last episode, where do you rate it at?
Yeah, since this is the last episode, we're basically going to follow up with a lot of these last episodes with what we think of the show as a whole.
For some,
especially with this.
It's like half the list.
Half the list. And this is one of them. This is the last episode of the show. For my next life as a villainess, I rated a solid 7 out of 10.
Nice.
I think it's a good show.
I'm amazed because most of these isekais are like
they're kind of meh.
They're meh. Just like the previous the one we dropped off.
Oh yeah, 8 Sun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Are you kidding me?
That one, are you kidding me? It was fun at first, but it was kind of felt like it was going to generic. But this one was very interesting throughout.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's funny how we finally catch up to it, but it's obviously at the end.
At the end, yeah.
But I enjoyed our experience watching it. Throughout each two or three episodes together, and it was something different than the typical isekai, like you guys said.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but for me though, like the ending, to me it was like not as satisfying.
Right.
And not that we know there's gonna be a second season confirmed. I want to know where they go from there.
Yeah.
So I want to see what now that she just has no route to learn from.
This is all new material. This has no
material to us.
Well, no, to the game itself too, because she technically beat the game.
She beat the game, man.
Yeah.
So I want to see where that goes. But for this first season, I'm with you, Robbie. I think 7, a solid good show.
Yeah,
I think so.
It definitely it blew me out of the water with how I thought of it originally. Because I thought it was just like just 4 or 5 out of 10 like trash.
Yeah, obviously with our MC, very different. And,
very different.
She's trying to survive
literally
in the beginning, but now she ends up with all her acquaintances being best friends, and including our DLC character.
Yeah, I know. What about you, David?
I give it a 8, solid 8.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Well, I was the one that.
Yeah, you obviously you're the one that recommended it.
He was the one that recommended. He was the original.
I enjoyed the show completely. How it went, character development with all of them. There was a lot of character development with most of these characters.
Yeah.
And a lot of good twists too, like with her friend being one of the characters as well.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was cool.
Hopefully, next season, Katarina finds actually the true love one.
Yeah, we'll
see.
That's
what I was thinking in my head once this season ended.
Like if you ask me, I think like her kind of like true love. I think it would be that I forget his name. The gray hair guy.
Oh, Alan.
Yeah,
Alan, yeah.
Gerardo's brother.
Gerardo's brother, Alan. Yeah.
I think they had.
I
Like,
want Gerardo.
Really?
I'm with David. I think Jordo is like.
Gerardo's.
It makes the most sense.
He's cool.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude.
And like, I love how none of us picked Keith. Or,
well, he's the.
Keith or the.
It's just the complex over here.
Both the other dude has.
I think Nicole was just like
Nicole's
he was just happy to be.
He's the cool type, yeah. He's just happy to be around the crew, and he's just happy that like his sister has like company and stuff and actual friends.
Yeah, but he has to try harder. We'll see the second season where he.
You'll see if he tries harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, man.
Nicole got shafted hard. Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
All right, and then the next episode of anime that we'll be talking about is Gleipnir. This one. Okay, so this one was really interesting. I want to.
Oh, this episode, yeah.
Yeah, this episode. I just remembered like what episode this was. I really want to talk about this one. So this whole episode is an origin. As an origin of Shuichi and his friends that was established from last episode, talking about this Honoka girl. And oh man, I want to talk about it. So it starts off with like right after Honoka made the wish that she wanted to make, which wasn't talked about that much. So they show the friends. They show all the friends that was in the group. They show Shuichi, Elena, this dude named Naoto, the twin tail girl named Aiko. Aiko, yeah, Aiko, and the Leo guy. I'm sorry, we weren't able to. Man, we forgot to actually look into his name. I don't think they ever said it at all, really. But in case they didn't, or in case
he's basically the guy from last episode with the ghost.
Yeah, he was the one with the stand.
Yeah, but we don't remember them.
The stand / persona or whatever. So yeah, we don't remember his name, but he's very recognizable. We'll just say that much. He has bright yellow hair.
He's pretty much the main character of this episode.
Of this whole origin. So it starts off pretty normal. You know, they just kind of have like, you know, chat about like, hey, what's going on with school? It's like, oh, you know, you're dating Aiko. It was like, how are you two like going off and all that stuff. And as they're walking, and they realize they're like, hey, we haven't seen Honoka in a long time.
It's been like weeks.
Yeah, for weeks, which is, you know, definitely concerning.
Strange.
Definitely strange and concerning. It was actually the the Leo guy that brought it up in the first place. Like, hey, isn't it kind of weird that Honoka hasn't shown up at all? And everybody else was kind of thinking the same things. Like, yeah, Honoka hasn't been here for a while, but for some reason Aiko kept saying, oh, you know, just forget about her. Just don't think about her at all. And Leo was just kind of thinking, like, well, this is weird. So he actually goes on a search on, you know, to figure out what happened with Honoka.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Honoka. For YouTube, we'll put this up on here. I don't know about Spotify. But anyway, so he goes around. He, you know, after that whole conversation, he goes around. He tries to figure out what happened with Hanako. Turns out that Hanako's dad was actually involved in a murder, and by involved I mean he actually did the murder. So it kind of gave Honoka, like, and, you know, her family a bad name. So Honoka was sent to live with her folks, her distant folks. They didn't want her at all, so they just like, okay, disown her. And that's when it kind of hit him that, wait a minute, Honoka kind of twirls her hair. Sorry, Aiko twirls her hair just like Hanako did, you know, back when we were kids, because the little like preschool thing that they showed like several episodes ago was actually the school that Shuichi and his original group of friends went to when they were kids.
Like right now, it's the past right now, and we're seeing through the.
This is literally a few months ago. Yeah.
Shuichi's friends, I guess. We finally learned that this is like literally Shuichi's friends.
This is what Shuichi's past is. This is what he went through, and it's so crazy. It's so crazy to kind of like see a drastic change in Shuichi's lifestyle just from a few months. But yeah, so to continue off what we were talking about, so So when she notices that, he decided to follow Aiko into this, into the castle where the alien lives, talks with the alien, gets information out regarding kind of who Aiko is or who Hanako is, and he gets the information. He finds out about it. Actually, he found out about it, right?
Well, he was
No. He
assuming
didn't find out.
shit.
Yeah, he had some ideas. He didn't say what it was, so he brought the gang to talk about it, and they said, okay, we don't want to. Let's just leave Aiko or Hanako through.
Yeah, because they had suspicions too, Aiko's like acting a bit different compared to how she was usually, and so obviously our Leo guy,
Our MC of this episode, yeah.
he has his questions about the alien, and then alien blatantly out tells him like, oh yeah, I made that wish for her. That's Hanako, and that's not Ayako. And he was like, what? And he's like, yeah, I made that wish for her. Like, but don't tell anybody, because if I get in trouble, I'm gonna start murdering everybody.
I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
keep that a secret.
So the next day, he goes to the preschool or the school that they.
Oh,
they were all,
Ayako was already heading there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was saying
there
goodbye to
the real one.
Yeah. And yeah, so then she brought up how she was living her life because she wants the real one gone, or she knows that the memory of the real one's gone, so she was living as her. And man, this is the part that got me, because that's when our MC got the rope in hand and just strangled her.
Yeah, because obviously with Ayako, when she was a strong person, that's how Hanako saw her. But she was getting bullied from school, and then made her depressed and shit, and she hanged herself. So she replaces her, and then that's when RMC of this episode, he's like, that's not cool. I miss you. And it's like, why didn't you, why would you do that? Why would you replace yourself with her? And then, yeah, like you said, like he offs her because that wasn't the right choice. Because
he thought that Hanako killed Aiko. As far as I know, he thought that Hanako killed Aiko due to self-interest.
Oh yeah, my bad. I'm sorry.
He thought that she offed her due to her self-interest because she didn't even properly explain what the whole scenario was. Not at the time, he was just acting in pure emotion.
Yeah, he was just assuming stuff. Like he fit the pieces together.
He was trying to play detective, and he thought his way was the right way.
Yep. And then later he found out through Naoto.
It killed him.
Yeah, he found out through Naoto what the whole deal was in actuality,
Yeah.
and then he realized, whoa, shoot, what have I done? I mean, he didn't actually say that. He was just destroyed. He was a destroyed man.
Yeah, there's
because he found a coin and he decided to do the transformation himself. And oh my gosh, the look.
Yeah, that image of him
I'm gonna
at
put
the
it
end.
up for YouTube.
It was very terrifying.
It is
Yeah.
horrifying.
He was gone at that point.
But I mean, what would you do if you realized you made the wrong choice?
Yeah.
It's tough, a tough pill to swallow.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the other friends are like, damn, we lost 3 friends. What the hell?
We lost 3 friends. And then that's kind of where the origin cut off. This was much less Shuichi's. Oh, and then it cut to what Claire was doing at the time when Shuichi was fighting against the sword dude at the same time, because Claire went to that same school to find out more information about Shuichi's past, and Shuichi, forgot about it since the start of the series. And that was about it. That was it, actually.
Yeah,
and then she ended up seeing the teddy bear.
Yeah, and then
who knows what she did after that?
Yeah, because it just kind of.
Because then it cut off to.
It cut off, yeah.
To the conversation with the sister and the helmet girl, right?
With Chihiro, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because Chihiro and her, because they have each other's numbers.
Yeah.
From like several episodes.
And then we're gonna say something too, but it just ended off right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know this. So there's one more episode.
All right.
No. I need to talk about this because I need to get my point across. I know we went over this recap, but I need to talk about this. So even though there's one more episode about this, the thing that got to me is the fact that Leo, the MC, killed Aiko, or not Hanako. I can't get over that. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I need to get my point across because I thought to myself that it's so stupid, but at the same time, it makes sense. It honestly makes sense regarding like what his thought process was. But I'm just thinking to myself, why didn't the man just ask a question? Why didn't he ask more questions?
I don't know, man.
He just said like, hey, I get that I found you right here. I get that you're doing this, but what you did was messed up. He just went straight for the rope.
Well, yeah, because obviously the alien told him, if you tell anyone about this, you know, they're gonna come looking for me, and I'm gonna start wreaking havoc.
He already had stuff.
He had his ideas, and he knew that he understood her. He was the only one that understood like this whole situation and everything.
To look at his point, it looks wrong. It looks wrong. It
was, but
it's like you taking someone else's place and trying to be them.
Yeah,
that's not
it's
you.
like the classic Romeo and Juliet, but still though, it's like he acted like with half the information, which is why he's suffering from what he did. But in my opinion, like it could have been avoided if he just kind of like acted.
She messed up too.
Yeah, I know.
It's a bunch of kids making wrong choices, man.
It is.
Those wrong choices for all of them, if anything.
Yeah.
Thankfully, like, there's one more episode. I don't know what they're doing with this, but that's just kind of like how I put it right there. That's my 2 cents right there.
Yeah, just last 2 cents here. Like, I think this was the most interesting episode.
This was
from this whole series. So I give kudos to that.
Final thoughts is gonna be on the next episode, but goddamn, man. Goddamn. Anyway, so moving on to the next anime. I'm so sorry, I got heated there. Could have moved on a few minutes ago. But whatever. Anyway. Next episode that we're going to be talking about is Tower of God. We continue from the 4th test, the admin test, and Omar was actually able to clarify kind of what was going on in the last episode with the whole fish,
well, not the last episode on the podcast, but the last episode. No,
the last episode from the anime because Omar wasn't here.
Yeah, he wasn't here, so.
So he saw when he saw it on his own, he was able to put that together.
Yeah, he put it together compared to us right here.
Yeah,
we made the boo.
I didn't know that you guys were having problems with that, but when I heard the podcast, I was like, oh, okay. I will explain to them when I see them.
But go on.
But yeah, so continuing off from that. So that's the reason why Rachel was here, is because they needed to see if Bam was even eligible to take the test in the first place. So it was basically a preliminary. So with that, that's when Rachel and Bam are actually like together, and their hands started glowing, and they started noticing like power and stuff. So it was pretty mundane on their end as well. Because most of the action taking place at the time was actually through what was going on back with Anuk and Dorsey.
The princesses.
The princesses of Jihad, since the sheep.
One princess.
Yeah, one princess. So since the sheep sensei assassin dude was like, no, he was like, oh, you have to kill him. He was expecting Endorsey to just off her, so that way, in case Endorsey does something, that he can just off her and just say, oh, they kind of acted off.
Yeah, so they're like fighting off the sheep guy, and then besides that, also with the rest of the group, we're dealing with the worms and the goblins, and see how they're trying to overcome that situation, and then from there,
Rock's little emotions with, I don't want to run away.
Yeah, Rack was literally just he grabbed our Piccolo friend, and he was running away, and he's like, no, I don't want to run away, and so he just like runs back, and he just does these parkour jumps, which is crazy. That's funny.
And that's the inner Rack in him, bro. I was like, I'm not a runner, bro. I'm a fighter.
We're a fighter. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight these hordes off. You watch 300 and play the last part of Crisis Core at the same time. So that was entertaining to watch. But yeah, most of the action and such and plot in general was just taking place between Anuk and Dorsey, and then Yuri shows up as well, because Yuri was trying to look for Bam and everything. But then that's when she was tipped off by Shibisu, saying that like, hey, so the Anuk and all of them, they're fighting their own battles, I guess, because he had a feeling that the bull was probably giving them a hard time.
Yeah.
Little did he know the bull had nothing to do with it, and the sheep assassin, was actually the one that was kind of making things a little rough.
Yeah. So here comes Yuri
Save the day.
Save the day.
Like
and
all Goku style.
and man, that
everything.
was probably like the best part of the episode.
Like Beerus.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
She was
definitely.
the Beerus at that moment.
She was, yeah.
Yeah, because we haven't seen Yuri
What
in
she's
action.
capable, yeah.
So seeing her being like super OP,
Mhm.
it's pretty cool to watch.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. And
We also got introduced to Kun's brother as well.
Yes. So Kun after they accomplished after Rack and everybody accomplished what they were doing, because Lare was able to, the sleeping dude was able to rescue
Oh
them.
yeah, we got to see a little bit more of him. He
And
was powered too.
Yeah, they lifted him up, and I like how Piccolo was just like, whoa,
Yeah.
oh, I
Was
got
this
the
me?
power.
It's my hidden power right
this
here.
my
That
hidden
scene
power?
where they were actually lifted up in the air, it kind of like made them look like they were Dragon Ball Z characters, like flying. It
Right?
was funny.
Yeah.
And so like after that, they were just chucking spears at like the worms and everything, and then they also had like a plan that devised. So the summoner and everything was like trying to close off all the Earth pigs, because they were
Yeah,
involved in this
because
whole
they
plan.
saw the underground path of these
Yeah.
earth pigs, so they traced them to the spot where the worms will be, and so instead of the worms sucking up the fishes, they end up sucking up earth pigs.
Yeah, and the pigs were just messing, just roughing them up,
They were angry, so they started attacking the goblins.
and they were also chucking
So
spears
pretty much
too,
they
so-
stopped them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stopped them with pigs and spears. That's funny. And then after that was when Kun's brother, or whoever, I don't know what his
Or
actual
what?
identity is, but
It's
he's related
probably
to
it's
the Kun
probably
family.
related. Yeah.
He might be related because obviously the
Oh
blue
yeah,
hair.
for sure. They got the hair. And
The
everything.
hair and the blue eyes.
Um.
And no, he said the royal family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a different royal family, not the Jihad family.
Not the
but it's a-
Jihad,
It's a
huh?
different family. Yeah.
So we'll see, next season of the show, where it leads off to with them.
Yeah, with them.
Yeah.
Because after Yuri was able to just completely mess him up, and well, the finishing blow wasn't her. It was
Yeah, 'cause
actually
she couldn't do
we
it.
got back with the administrator dude,
Mhm.
and he was saying, this what was it? He was saying everything was
planned
going
out.
fine, right?
Yeah, everything was a part of
Ev-
plan and stuff like that.
Yeah, everything was okay, but then Willy Wonka over here is like, nah,
Yeah.
man, it's not going well at all.
It seems like Letero is kind of not wanting any of this, and he's probably just gonna just bail on this whole administrator thing. Like, nah,
It seems like it gives that vibe.
It gives that vibe.
He's not. He doesn't want to be a part of this.
Nope.
He's not having as much fun as he did earlier on.
Yeah.
But I think the little dude for Yuri's group.
Yeah.
She calls him up and she's like, "Hey, don't kill that sheep dude. You can't."
So that's what he called the big dude with the hammer.
Big hammer boy, and just
And it Dorian just dropped. No. It was actually less of a Ganondorf and more of like a Sephiroth kind of sword drop. Instead of a sword, it's just a giant hammer.
And then-
he squishes him like a Pop-Tart.
yes.
All the stuffing inside it just squirt out.
Yeah, all his blood and goo.
It looked funny.
You look like a flattened Pop-Tart. It's
He had
great.
his what was his final words, I guess?
His final words was literally, "I'm sticking the bull on the irregulars."
This is
Yeah,
not my
Bam.
final act.
Take my final hamon. Yeah, but instead he's like, that bull that you guys were fighting the last episode. Well, I put him against the irregular. Bam. So Bam had to basically
Fight the
as
bull.
the bull was fight the bull, grab the bull by its horns and shoot him with energy.
Yeah, so he's getting wailed at a lot, but he was keeping his fight. And towards the end, he manages to take him out. No, he gets eaten like in Men in Black.
Yeah. And then he shoots it from the inside.
From the inside, and it just blows up.
You see chunks.
It's like
too many
Bam.
chunks.
Remember, he was an MC and he used his powers.
Yeah. and then all that ends well, except
You would think.
He
plot
would think.
twist. Rachel gets up and she pushes him off, and it looked like it's the end of the series. Straight up, it looked like it was like
He's just falling into the known waters and
Yeah.
stuff.
It's a very cool shot.
It was, yeah, but man, poor Bam.
Yep, getting betrayed, but the girl he likes. Again,
Top 10 betrayals, man.
top 10 anime betrayals. Right there.
Everybody's all happy because everybody passed the test and and all that, but nope. It's a tragedy. All right, now moving on to the next anime, we got Princess Connect Redive. This one kind of goes back into the whole into the whole like serious tone that the previous arc had with the shadows.
Yeah.
It starts off with Pecorine kind of like remembering back on her past, I guess, when she, with her mom and dad and darkness,
Yeah.
kind of overtaking everything.
Like a little bit of origin of Pecorine.
Yeah. And it's funny too because like even though it had that
they had dark moments, but then they had happy
it
moments.
had the lighthearted moments immediately kicked in after that, because then they were like talking about this goat that was terrorizing the town and they needed to lure it out. It was like, oh my God, it's an SSS.
Pecorine really wants to do this quest.
Yeah. She likes helping people, and it involved a lot of misfortune on Carol, and Carol had to be the guinea pig and
the Daphne of the squad.
Yeah,
from the Scooby-Doo squad.
She had to be the guinea pig, and and like she was being chased down. It was all lighthearted. They catch it eventually. She Pecorine does her whole like princess to strike and knocked him out. It was really funny. But then that's when, of course, the darker stuff started to pick up and all that.
No, they want to eat, and then we get introduced to the sisters
again.
Oh,
with the little crepe shop.
The crepe shop,
which is funny. Like I like the little throwback when even the character said this stuff. They're like, oh yeah, remember we first stopped by here at the crepe shop.
Yeah, when they first came into the town. Yeah, that was funny.
So that was cute on that end.
Throwback.
But then. Those sisters made the mistakes and saying it was on the house, and Pecorine took that challenge.
That's the thing. You never ever say to the MC or whoever has a big appetite in general is like, oh, it's all on house.
A lot of MCs do that.
Yeah, it's
or just restaurants in general where like, oh, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet, and then the chefs can't cook fast enough. And they do that with One Piece and they do that with Dragon Ball. And
it's very
Didn't they do it on Naruto too?
Yeah, well, with
the ramen,
yeah. No, but it turns out Hinata actually can eat more than Naruto.
That's true.
That's fun fact.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that,
that's when things get darker again.
Yeah, it's when that shadow they introduced last episode.
It's like, what is that?
Absorbs everything.
I saw power somewhere.
Speaking of Dragon Ball, yeah, so you see everybody's clothes is kind of scattered and everything, so it's kind of like. It personally gave me like Cell vibes. It's like Cell just moving from town to town, getting power and stuff. And speaking of like power, the shadow itself is also kind of like grows in size. Next day comes and kind of as like Pecorine and all of them are like kind of chillaxing and eating and everything like that. That's when he kind of like comes into town and starts wrecking stuff up.
Yeah, wrecking havoc.
And then takes the one of the, I guess, what do you call it? Salesman takes him up.
Yeah, one of the town folks.
I thought it was the bald dude's like dad.
It was
just another fellow salesperson, I guess, like in the town. So like right when he was about to bite the dust, that's when Pecorine comes to save the day.
That was funny with the lady.
She threw her mighty pan.
Yeah.
It did not work.
Oh my god, yeah, that was funny.
with all her might.
Hey, she looked good throwing that pan though. You saw the muscle backing that up and nothing.
Yeah. You hear the blink.
And that's the thing though. Like this dude was just like powerful because like no matter how much like you throw attacks on it, it was just not budge at all. Like Pecorine was doing everything she could, and I assume she was also well fed too.
Yeah, well, those crepes.
Yeah, it was all those crepes. So yeah, she was just not doing like damage at all to this guy, because the more damage he was doing, the more this shadow was growing. And then Carol was kind of like having these PTSD flashbacks similar to the one before with the shadows. Whenever she sees shadows, that's when she's like, oh, it's my master's doing. Like, I can't really interfere.
She doesn't want to interfere. So when Pecorine calls for help from her.
Yeah, the problem is that Carol, despite being like a good-natured, like good-hearted person, she's kind of playing like the Palpatine kind of character, where she's actually part of both sides.
I guess.
In a way.
Yeah, I can see that.
In a way, she's not as high up in the food chain like Palpatine, but she's part of both factions.
Yeah, because she has the evil side, and then but she's more to the
to the light.
With the
she feels like, but prior to that, she used to be just bad on the bad.
Yeah, she was more that definitely.
And now that we're seeing it evolve over time, she's finally growing to the characters.
Yep. She's warming herself up, and especially like towards the end of that fight in particular, when Pecorine puts all of her energy into the final strike, and it didn't really do much. And
No, it got him pretty good.
Yeah,
but then
I like that moment because she even like she saw that Carol didn't do anything. She still protected her no matter what, and she gave her like
that's what she's
shoulder guard.
Yeah, because the thing is that she did her final attack, but it was not good enough to take him out completely.
Yeah.
So then the monster just regrew back and then started hitting Pecorine.
It's kind of like a Vegeta final flash against.
And Karen, she couldn't like move or anything because she was stuck. So Pecorine just jumped onto her and tried to block as much as those shots as she could.
When I was watching, that was pretty tough.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh man, Pecorine's getting whooped.
Yeah, and then Yuki actually drops in and actually starts enacting his MC powers.
his MC what do you call it?
Because
the Spider-Man senses.
Yeah,
his senses
like,
came in.
Yeah, because
then
like
his
Pecorine,
his flashbacks come in too.
Yeah, it comes into play, and he also kind of like sees the future, kind of like Shulk from Xenoblade. He was able to see the future a little bit, kind of see like, oh, what's going on, all that stuff. So he didn't want that. He was like, I'm gonna change the future, and I'm gonna make sure that I kick your butt.
But
all that good stuff.
But that don't happen.
Nope.
Yeah, don't happen.
But the master of those two kind of saves him, erects a wall and everything like that, and
I feel like he didn't die. They
No.
stopped
No,
him.
they didn't die.
No.
They were able to momentarily stop him,
Stop him,
and
yeah.
Carol finds herself in a castle, and in the castle she finds, lo and behold, Pecorine's old picture, where she and like what assumes the king
Was
and
it
queen.
Kokoro?
Was it Kokoro?
Yeah, it was Kokoro.
Oh, Kokoro. Sorry.
Yeah, Kokoro was the one.
Kokoro.
That,
Yeah, Kokoro.
because she was
it.
walking in the castle, and then she opens the door, and then sees Pecorine and her mom and dad.
You think they're all in the same, like, I guess I want to say realm, because that's what
I
they
think
kind
so.
of
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because both of them are injured.
Like including the monster.
I don't know.
Maybe the monster has a change of heart.
And that's and that's pretty much how it ends.
Yeah.
Very good episode.
Oh yeah, great episode. Still not the last episode though. We still have one more for this one. But unlike this one, moving on to the next episode, BNA. We finally move on to the final episode, and we're finally caught up with the series because this final episode actually updated a while ago, but since we're doing our once a week format, we caught up to the party really late. Anyway, moving on. BNA. So yeah, it was a follow up to kind of what went on with the fact that Shiro took a chomp out of Michiru, but hey, turns out that was a good call because he was exposed to some blood from her, which actually neutralized his rampage. Yeah, his was it Nearest-Veal syndrome? Yeah, it's all gone. He's cured.
So they found the cure.
And at first he thought that Michiru died, so he did a howl out of respect. And turns out, Michiru actually recorded it and stuff because he thought it was actually she thought it was kind of adorable. When
that
she
moment
did
was
that.
funny.
Yeah.
She was like, huh? And then she was like, oh, let me get that.
Yeah. So with that, they decide to kind of regroup back, kind of figure out what was going on, and it turns out that that's the reason why that's the reason why this happening in the first place. Why Shiro was able to turn back was because of the mix of DNA and stuff from you, and the Nearest-Veal turns back.
Yeah. So like once like everyone's like regrouped, they're trying to find a way to get like the vaccine and like to everybody, see if they could do it. So obviously that the plan to cease and control all the rampage happened in Anima City, while I think Wolf Jesus and Michiru go after
Alan Silvasta and the
Yes.
medical group. Yeah. So they go in, they try to stop him once and for all, and it turns out that Alan had this planned and day. I mean, we've known this before. He had this whole day planned from the very beginning.
Yeah.
He put everybody in a rampage, and he will basically send all these drones and stuff to shoot the serum to turn all these all the beastmen back.
You guys forgot also the fox girl, the fake wolf Jesus.
Oh, Nazuna.
Nazuna.
Yeah. Well, Nazuna, like it was kind of happening at the same time. Nazuna was trying to round up the kids and stuff to kind of was trying to round up all the kids and such to safety. But then Boris shows up, and Boris actually showed off his creepy true colors. And it turns out that Boris is actually a Medusa, like not a Medusa, but a
Gorgon.
A Gorgon, yeah. He was actually a Gorgon in disguise.
I mean, you could. There was hints of him being a reptilian, but we didn't know.
I thought he was a lizard dude.
But we didn't know like he was like
a Gorgon.
Yeah, it was a weird mix thing.
There wasn't. Yeah, because he
didn't transform like into like a snake. He was like multiple snakes just appeared on his like right side.
One side.
On his one side, yeah. And it's weird because I don't think there were any reptiles in this, right? In the like throughout Anima City, it's all mainly birds and mammals.
And mammals, I think so.
You might be right. Well, other than the beluga guy.
That's a mammal.
Oh, my bad.
Belugas and whales in general are mammals.
Yeah, I don't know. No, you're right. No, that hasn't. I was gonna say like that might have been like a crocodile or something, but not like no, I didn't. That's it.
That would have been cool though. Man, they'd be all like K. Rool like.
Jeez.
Yeah, they're cool.
Just now you're making me play that theme. The
yeah. So there are no reptiles, except for Boris, I guess.
Yep.
But
that we know.
Even still, he's not a full reptile because half of his face is still like human-like, kind of, sort of.
I think he would. For me, personally, I thought maybe he was an experiment.
I think so. Yeah, I think he's an experiment for sure. But anyway, so going back to the Alan side of things.
So since he was working with Alan as well, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So maybe
they're all in the cahoots.
Yeah, that's why he did that sabotage.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then Alan, as Michiru was trying to like get everything, Shiro obviously tries to go directly after Alan and tries to stop him. But then it turns out Alan was actually overpowering Shiro, which kind of is weird. Shiro's in full wolf form, and why is this human overpowering him?
He's like, sit down.
Be humble.
It turns out that Alan is a...
No, first he's like, no, don't mess with me right now. I'm doing this thing right now. And then he shows his form.
And that's when he shows his true form, which is actually a three-headed Cerberus.
Yeah, not just a beastman, a divine beastman.
Yes, a divine beastman that is a purebred. A purebred beastman.
A purebred hybrid.
Yeah.
From the gods.
From the gods, which is why he has no beastman scent, which is why Shiro was not able to find a single whiff of that. He thought he was human.
Yeah, so they have a little epic battle.
Yeah. Oh, and then also Alan like actually explains as to why he was doing it in the first place, and it's to rid all of the filthy hybrids.
They weren't worthy
enough. Filthy casuals.
They weren't worthy enough to become beastmen.
Yeah.
They're just filth to him.
So that was the main thing. That's why he was targeting every animal.
Mm-hmm.
Beastmen.
Yeah, and then as the fight was going on, they were even able to say that like Alan also has immortality too, because he slices off his heads,
his necks,
all three of his necks,
and he's like,
oh, you can't kill me, I'm immortal.
Like, come on, man, it's too easy.
Yeah. So you have an immortal wolf fighting against an immortal Cerberus.
Yeah.
And things actually don't go too well for Shiro at all.
He gets blasted in the chest.
He literally gets blasted straight through his chest and everything. And and then so cut back to Michiru and Nazuna, because Michiru catches up to Nazuna through the proxy of the droids shooting everything. Michiru was miraculously able to block every shot, which is crazy, but
it's power Michiru, man.
Power of the MC.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as all that was going on, so Nazuna was able to rescue a few of the unaffected beastmen.
The baseball squad.
Yeah, the baseball squad
shows up.
They were able to save the day, and
they get trapped. They get cornered, and then
And
The funny thing is that they didn't go beast mode because they didn't really. I guess
they didn't really care. No, because they thought. Oh, I was kind of funny too, because Jackie actually explained it. The reason why is because even though Nazuna was not the real Ginro, whoever offers them food is God in their eyes. I love that. I love that.
Jackie's very humble. I love her.
I love her. But yeah, so when they get cornered by all the savage beastmen and stuff, well, Michiru's phone falls off and plays the howling that Shiro was doing, and it actually calms them.
Yeah.
It calms the beastmen, the savage beastmen, and the regular beastmen too, which it was just kind of odd because Mari was there and she was howling and she's a mink, so I don't know, it was weird.
There was a lot of creatures that were howling.
A lot of creatures that were not dog-like.
Yeah, it's weird now that you say it like that. It reminds me like a dog whistle when like dogs hear the whistle.
Yeah, they howl.
They calm down.
Yeah, but you don't see
them whistle.
Yeah. Yeah, the reason why Nazuna and Michiru weren't affected is because they're human. They're human. They're of human origin. So they weren't affected by the whole howling shenanigans. So then they realized, like, hey, since this howling stuff works, let's go all the way to the stadium. Let's go set up everybody's TVs and such to kind of calm them. And Alan shows up, intercepts them, and then that's when we get the big finale.
Alan comes with his dramatic entrance.
Oh yeah,
my god,
so villainous.
Oh, so villainous stand and stuff. He was just standing all cool and stuff. He was like, yes.
He has this whole like the evil catwalk thing.
Yeah, like literally.
I already knew all of this was gonna happen. Yes.
Yeah, and right when he was about to go for the kill, because he was overpowering Michiru real bad, that's when Shiro shows up, saves the day. And they have a huge like,
not huge.
No, I say that by like, I want to say that with air quotes because this is a trigger work compared to other trigger stuff. It's not as big because this one doesn't go to space.
Oh god.
You're right though. You're right. Yeah, they don't go to space.
Damn.
But they have all their fighting done within the stadium itself. And, there was a lot of energy blasts and stuff being shot.
Yeah, obviously Wolf Jesus digivolved into an airplane Wolf Jesus.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're right. And Shiro realized, and that obviously overpowers Alan, and he's right when he's about to go for the final shot and final kill and everything. He looks at Michiru and Shiro realizes maybe this isn't the way.
Yeah.
But Alan actually gets affected by that whole syndrome, which is kind of funny because he was mentioning how he's a purebred.
Yeah, he's a divine beastman.
Yeah, he
made by God himself.
He can't get affected, whatever. But no, it turns out it affects him, and he was about to go full on psycho. But right when he takes a chomp on Shiro's arm, but Shiro's already has the cure and everything because from when he got cured of the syndrome himself. His blood was quote unquote contaminated, yeah. And he was able to turn back to normal, and that's the end of that fight.
Yeah.
Everybody's cool.
He just blasts him. He opens the guy's mouth.
Yeah, he's about to Godzilla him.
And Shiro and since Alan is all defeated and everything like that.
No, well he turns back into human after.
Yeah. And since Alan was defeated and the day was saved, Shiro was there to give a live howl, and everybody is in howling mode, and everybody's okay. Yeah. Day is saved.
The Wolf Jesus saves the day.
Yep. And right when, and it's funny too because as they were showing the epilogue and everything, you see these transformed beastmen wait patiently and
I know it looks weird.
You see a lot of kaiju, scary looking kaiju, and waiting their turn to get cured and everything. That was really funny. Nazuna becomes a huge idol in both the human world and the beastman world. And Michiru, even though she originally came to find a cure for her beastman disease, she was like, you know what? I don't mind staying as a beastman.
This is my calling.
Cool. Yeah, it's cool. I like this. and everybody lived happily ever after.
Yeah, very nice ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, so now
rating wise,
with this episode, with this anime, us finally finishing it, I'd say it's an 8 for me. It's a good 8 out of 10. It's not. It's for a Trigger show. It's on the below average scale, but again, it's Trigger. Mm-hmm. So it's for overall for every anime out there, it's definitely an 8 for me.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with you. I feel 8 as well. I think, obviously being Trigger work, it's very colorful. And, obviously I like the characters with Wolf Jesus and Michiro.
Yeah, Michiro.
Yeah, so they're very good main characters. And, it was different for Trigger himself doing, animals.
Oh, yeah.
Animal humanoids and stuff. So it was a very good story, very good show. Highly recommend.
How about you, David?
I give it a 7 on mine. It was alright. It was an alright show. I'm not counting the animation itself because I love Trigger in general.
Oh yeah.
So Trigger with their animation and their action is pretty enjoyable. But other than the show, the story itself, that's why it dropped a bit for me. And
yeah.
The only character that mattered to me the most was Wolf Jesus, Shiro. Yeah, Shiro was my favorite character.
Yeah, I'd say he's my favorite too.
Yeah, plus he had the most action moments.
Oh yeah,
pretty
very
much.
Cool
he stole the show in a lot of ways. So
yeah, that's my rating for this.
Yep.
For BNA.
Yep.
Yeah,
we're done with that. All right, and now the next anime on the list for us to talk about is, of course, Sing Yesterday for me. Yeah, it was just mainly. It was okay. I say it was just mainly, but it was. It starts off as a continuation from last episode where Ro, finds out that Shinako and Rikuo are actually in a relationship. And
I hate Ro.
I
hate Ro.
Yeah, David does not like Ro. He comments on the fact that main thing about him is that he wants to see Shinako happy. So that's kind of what he cares about the most, and even though he's acting like a child and everything, he's like, I don't like what's going on here, but I get it. You have your own life, and you chose my brother, and even after my brother, you're choosing somebody else. It's you. It kind of bums Shinako out. Shinako is obviously very confused regarding kind of what she wants to do, and Rikuo is also kind of thinking of thinking of confusion and such, and Haru is still completely just torn. She even moved back in with her parents away from where she was living before.
Yeah, because that whole burglary from last episode, I think it kind of spooked her. But then obviously what happened last episode.
Oh yeah,
her scene
that broke her heart. Yeah. I think it was more so with that.
But back to Ro, obviously she was devastated because she literally ran after him when he bolts off and stuff, and obviously our main guy, he's like, what the hell? That's not right.
Yeah.
So obviously everyone's having very mixed, confused feelings. So
nobody's happy. That's the thing.
No
it's
one's
even though this was what Rikuo wanted since pretty much the beginning of the story, he's not happy. Shinako's not happy. Ro's not happy. Nobody's happy.
No one's happy. So it's I think a month or two goes ahead.
I think so. They never really specified how much time went by, but eventually
time has passed.
Time has passed, and Shinako and Rikuo
their relationship.
go to a bench. Yeah, they sit at a bench and they kind of reflect on kind of what's going on. And Rikuo realizes
on this one, this is where I think everything comes out. This is the moment where
this is the first time when everybody from both sides, from Shinako's side and Rikuo's side, are actually honest about what they feel. In that Shinako's thinking, I've never even gave a chance to Ro to see him that way, regardless of how much he's trying. And Rikuo's thinking the same thing too with Haru. He's thinking that I'm not doing that with Haru also, and that's not fair for her at all. So what can I do to kind of fix things? They both think that, and that's when they both decide pretty much at the same time. But I argue Rikuo thought of it first.
Yeah, I think so, because obviously Shinako, she was she's been having this problem since day one and stuff.
Yeah.
And but yeah, he manned up and he was like, you know what, I still like you, but you know I can't look into my heart to say I love you because I don't think you feel the same way.
They never once said that to each other. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when they decided, like, you know, we should, you know, break up.
They were confused. Yeah.
And just stay as friends. Which, you know, it's always hard for some people, but you know, for them, they're like, we'll finally try to stay friends.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. Which is cool on their book. Rikuo, after manifesting kind of his true feelings and the fact that Haru's always kind of been there for him.
Day one.
He realizes his feelings and he decides to go after.
Finally. For the love of God.
Figure out, like, okay, let me meet up with Haru. Go to Milk Hall. Turns out she took off from work for a little bit, and you know, considering she's staying with her parents and all, so he goes through a bus, is sweating up a storm, not thinking, kind of like, what should I do?
He's sweating so much that the people in the bus with him are scared.
Are uncomfortable, yeah, for a good reason.
Well,
Haru,
he was contemplating on himself too, because he was fighting with himself.
Yeah, because he's not
in general.
He's not a confident, like, by the definition of the word, he's not a confident guy per se.
He doesn't know what he wants.
Yeah.
And he's very indecisive to make choices. So like when we see throughout the whole season, he finally makes big choices for himself.
That's what I really hated about him.
Yeah.
He was really he was disappointing. No matter what you looked at it. He was a disappointing guy.
I think he's more of like a representation of kind of like the youth of the mid-20s youth of Japan. How they're like, not just Japan, but just youth in general, how they're like kind of indecisive in general of what they want to do with their life. That's kind of how I saw it. But anyway,
their love life, I guess.
Well, especially their love life. But then like Haru was about to take the bus that Rico was about to get off of, and that's when the crow
saved
MVP.
the day.
He's like,
finally spoke, you know. I was like,
I was like, are you gonna get in? Are you gonna get in?
Oh,
the bus driver was like, are you gonna get in?
You didn't get out.
Yeah.
And then she ended up just, you know, getting off so the bird could calm down, and then
that's when they meet, and that's when Rico was finally able to say I love you.
Well, he didn't say I love you right away. He was
Rico. He's never going to say that.
Took him like the whole episode to fucking say it.
Yeah.
he was struggling, man. I was like, oh my god, man.
Yeah.
But
keep going.
Obviously, Haru being the sweetheart of who she is and having a big heart.
She was just confused on what he wanted to say.
Yeah, he couldn't put into words.
Yeah.
Which is why Haru actually had to punch his gut.
That's when they barely met, and she just punched.
She couldn't believe that it was him.
Yeah, couldn't believe it was him.
Jerk.
And then they had that conversation.
Yeah. And from that, he was able to muster the courage of actually able to confess.
Yes.
His love for her.
It was the best moment of this anime.
Oh my goodness, Omar, you were such a happy boy.
I was so happy, man. I was cheering. I was like, yes, this is what I wanted the whole time.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it ends. And then obviously with Shinako going and visit Ro, because he moved out, right?
Yes, Ro moved out.
Moved out to go to college.
Mm-hmm. And Shinako was able to basically parallel meet up with him. There was no equivalent to that whole like confession scene going on.
Yeah.
It's just that she was there, kind of similar to
how you kind of assumed like she was gonna do the same thing.
Right. But yeah, and then it was a happily ever after.
Yeah, the end of the Sing Yesterday to me.
Yeah, Sing Yesterday for me is over.
The only one I guess that got proposed was the bartender.
The milk hall,
girl.
yes, because they actually showed a parallel between Rico like walking from milk hall and then the boyfriend walking over. So that I'm assuming that's kind of when they were able to patch things up, which is kind of cool. That was a nice subtle detail.
I actually enjoyed that. I was like, yes, finally. And then I saw the ring. I was like, damn, this guy had the guts.
Did it.
He did it.
MC.
I did not know anything about him, and I was like, damn, I'm surprised.
Stole your heart.
Yeah. Like, this guy actually put a ring on him, a ring on her and shit. I was amazed. I was like, damn. Cause I remember he was struggling on that to his parents too. Like, if I remember, he was having issues with his parents and stuff, and why he couldn't visit as much, and you know, that whole issue. I think, if I remember right,
it was all in the background too, which is kind of cool. They kind of touched up on that, so it was all great. Overall, for me, it's the same as BNA. I personally give it an 8 out of 10. I think it was a great. In my opinion, I thought it was a great story. Character development was kind of given to certain characters, but I felt like was mostly the focus on which characters was, and I just love the tone. That's my favorite part. It was just the tone and the character designs and everything.
Very real.
Yeah. Hardly any characters with any multicolored hair. Now that I think about it, they're all like except for Riko's ex,
orange.
Which orange, but you know she dyed it, which is kind of confirmed. But everybody else has black hair.
Probably at that time, you know, that was the style. I guess for Japan itself.
For sure. I mean, she was a rebel because she used to smoke. She was smoking a lot. But yeah, so it's an 8 out of 10 for me.
Alright, so obviously I like this anime a lot, and seeing the ending brought me joy, but I have to, you know, give it to the whole season. So you're right that the character development was given to more than others, and for me personally, the ending felt very rushed. Where we could have got more character development with each of the characters, our main characters, but give and take of these 12 episodes, I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the realism of, you know, real relationships, of young adults and mid-20s and stuff, and now everything's like peachy rainbows, you know, so you get some real shit and you get some real choices. So I know I said I had a different score when we were talking off podcast, but I'll give it an 8 as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, David?
For me, the show was great. It was a great show. Had a lot of issues with it, but at the same time, I love the conflict because it was so real. You know, you don't expect that much in anime other than, you know, mature actions, or sometimes, you know, those. But this one was really close to like realistic problems and stuff. Thing that just bummed me out, I guess, is the main character. But you know, that I guess that's where the realistic comes from. You know, you know, our real person,
people
interactions and stuff. It was, that's what maybe dropped it a bit for me. But you know, I guess it's just a good show for me.
What's your score?
My score's 7.
7?
I'll give it a 7.
It'll pretty much.
So
we're pretty much similar.
Yeah.
So that's all I have for it.
All right, and now moving on to our next anime here.
Yes.
We're really excited to talk about this one. Kaguya-sama Love is War Season 2. Finally at the end of this one.
Of this
as well.
season 2.
Season 2. My gosh, where do I begin? So it starts off with another great bit with Kaguya and her phone, pretty much. She goes on a lot about how she thinks that taking pictures and such is, initially she thought it was unnecessary, and like there's no point in taking pictures of, with phones or anything. I've been having this phone since I was 5, and I've been having this phone ever since. So taking pictures and such is only delegated to things that are, that a lot of teenagers would find, she, in her opinion, unnecessary. However, until she joined the student council, and the student council, with all the memories she's been having and everything, she kind of became more in tune with that side of herself, taking pictures and everything, having a great time and everything. So it's basically how it starts off, and then as it gets going,
the whole thing is that she couldn't take pictures because of the family
Well, that's when that's where the next part comes in, because the school principal is absolutely great. I kind of wish I hope he's in more episodes later.
But I wonder what he was like. I guess because it sounded like he was like French or something.
He had like an American kind of way of speaking Japanese.
I feel like it was an American though. I felt like it was a different language.
Was like French, and then he would speak American words here and there.
Yeah, here and there we would hear English.
Très bien.
Yeah, he was a very interesting character.
Okarishimasu.
This is I think the first interaction, like a long interaction with the principal.
Yeah,
we hardly get as much the principal.
And the principal here was great because he was saying like, oh, we need to take school pictures and stuff for the paper, and since Kaguya, like you mentioned before, her family doesn't want any sort of picture involved at all with the media.
Yeah, the media.
And so that's why he gets Miko. He takes a lot of pictures of Miko, who looks adorable as hell in these pictures. It's great. And he also takes one of Ishigami too, and Ishigami also he kind of combs his hair
at first
back.
he didn't want one.
Yeah,
they both didn't want to.
Yeah, they
don't like each other.
Oh
so
god, no, the principal with the little short girl, it was it was weird. I was whoa, he was getting a little bit too close to her.
It was weird, yeah. That's why what was it? I think Shirogane. Oh, no, it was Chika. I think mentioned that Kaguya mentioning that this whole situation's really gnarly, given any other circumstances, and kind of could be very weird. So in general, there's all these goofs and gaffes were happening, and right when they were about to take like a group picture and such, Kaguya drops her phone, and the phone goes tumbling down and is broken.
Yep.
I was joking that maybe it's a Nokia phone, so it'll be fine.
Hey man, being a flip phone, that was a good guess.
Yeah, but it was.
Nah,
you see the corpse.
I don't think flip phones survive.
You see the corpse of the phone, and she realizes that she lost all the pictures. And
well,
such.
she got destroyed. She's like,
Yeah.
damn,
all those memories gone.
She was thinking in her head that, oh, it's okay, I can get a new phone now. It'll give me an excuse to get a new phone. And
first she thought that the phone would be able to be recovered and stuff.
Yeah.
So she goes to the phone company.
Yeah, she goes to the phone store in general, and
nope, that phone old.
That's an old phone.
You don't got no SIM card.
It was
What
funny
is this
too.
about?
I was actually saying maybe this has an SD card, and the anime actually addresses that too. It's like, oh, it's an older model. It's all internal memory, and the internal memory is busted. So yeah, you cannot salvage anything from this phone. So I thought that was cool that they brought that up, and she was forced to get a super high tech phone that has 4K.
No, she didn't want that.
She wanted
No, I said that she was forced to get one, to get a phone that.
No, she wanted to get the similar phone to the
president.
The president.
Yeah,
the other girl said no. You should get a newer model.
But they also said that they don't make phones of his model either, because Shirogane's phone is actually also old too.
Outdated.
It's an outdated phone.
So she had to get the latest bells and whistles.
Yeah, with 4K HD DVR.
Yeah, unnecessary stuff on your phone.
Oh my god. it was a nice looking phone, even in an anime. But so she gets the phone because she's rich.
But she's still,
she's still torn apart because she lost all her pictures, and those pictures really, really meant a lot to her, because these were the pictures she was taking since season 1, and now it's all gone. But that's when Shirogane comes to save.
I was still confused. I was like, wait, who took the picture in the aquarium? Because both of them were.
They got some random person. Yeah.
You think so?
Probably got some
it was funny
person.
though, seeing them in the aquarium.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, our boy being super smart as always. Finally, since now Kaguya has a smartphone, he's like, all right, guys, since we all have line.
No, well, first. He did the lime thing, and then he's like, I wonder why she's down.
Mm-hmm.
Still, the lime was first, and then
then he decided to make that group chat thing.
Yeah, they make.
No, that's later on, right?
No,
No.
it was in that part where they make the
we
group
missed
chat.
out where he's like, oh, let's see why she's down. Remember? Because she was down, but they didn't know why she was down. They were still contemplating.
Yeah.
was
You're
upset.
right.
Yeah.
That was, but I mean,
No,
they were able to address that later though. After they made it, that they were able to address the fact that
No, that's why the line came first, and then they had that conversation why she's still down.
Right.
Because remember, he was like, oh, she added me.
Yeah.
He found it strange. I was like, oh damn.
Like she was super direct. Yeah. She didn't have any like weird scheme of saying like, hey, how do we add each other? To make it super complicated and everything.
So
no,
then
they didn't have that.
he started questioning. So he started calling all of them to get close. Like, hey, what's happening?
Yeah.
What's happening with her?
They were able to deduce that it was actually the phone itself or the photos itself.
So then they just said they didn't know what, so they just separated.
Yeah,
and then that's when he got the idea, like, oh, you know what? Let's start giving out the pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, like nonchalant, like not being like.
But he said,
anything.
but I found really cool was that he said that he was planning on making a line group anyway, but he knew that since Kaguya's phone wasn't capable of actually making a group, since she had a new phone, he couldn't get line on that phone.
So yeah, that's when he got the idea.
That's when he said, hey, we didn't want to exclude you guys out. We didn't want to exclude you out of our group. So we wanted to wait until you got your phone, the new phone, so that way we could be able to make a full-on group chat.
I think it was very cool too. Like,
That's really
he had that thought the whole time, but he didn't want to leave Kaguya out of the picture. So now that she finally has a smartphone, he's like, all right, now we can make this group chat. We could put all these pictures.
So all the images started coming into her phone, and then she lightly started changing. Her eyes started.
She realized
not dead eyes no more. Mm-hmm.
So she was very overwhelmed with all these pictures.
Yeah, she was so happy. She was gaining that happiness again, and after that.
After that they do that
group picture.
They do that picture because her phone apparently is very it could send smile. So it takes a picture when you smile or something like that. So they do that, but and then after that they do that amazing.
Oh, the best bit where they play that one Mario mini game where you have to basically pump a balloon.
Trust me, in this episode or this little bit, I was like, I feel the same way.
Yeah,
I feel it.
Oh man, but it's so funny when they do it because Chico's obviously the one that brought it up to play this balloon game, and everyone's taking it nonchalant, and then she comes in, she's like, let's turn it up a notch right here,
She starts pumping so pretty much it's like they're pumping a balloon, and that balloon, no, they thought of it was gonna be a different thing. They weren't thinking it was gonna be the balloon game, remember?
Yeah.
They got cheated into playing this game.
Yeah.
They're like, holy shit.
I thought it was gonna be like a dance thing.
Yeah.
It said like pump it up. I thought it was gonna be like a dance.
Yeah,
like a dance song.
So they were thinking like, oh, this is gonna be something else, but no, she got us. Chica got us. Got the guys.
That's how she was able to get the balloon, and it was funny too because like everybody was like pumping the balloon and everything, and we thought that like, okay, Shirogane has a very natural, like, rational fear.
I really noticed all of them had the fear.
They all did,
except Chica. Chica was the only one
was the only one that was like,
hell yeah,
just didn't care.
Like she was just playing the game.
Yeah, she played the game. She wanted this game for that reason.
Ishigami was like, oh man, I'm so cool, like I had my own arc last episode. I got this.
He slowly no.
The Nazi even called it. I was like, that whole arc pointless.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
He pointed that out, and then even Kaguya like had the whole like hand thing where she puts her right hand in her like left cheek.
Because she was doing it most of the time, and then all of a sudden like Chica's like,
you can't do that. You need to have two. You have to have two hands. And she's like, this is terrifying.
This is a disaster.
Everybody was terrified. Shirogane and everybody was trying to pass it on. And the one thing that got to them was because Kaguya throughout that whole thing was offering oranges because she knew that like, oh, oranges are gonna have this corrosive acid that like melts into rubber.
Yeah.
So she
tried to give it a Chica.
She gave it to Chica, but actually backfired
like, nope.
because like right when the two were actually
maybe later. No, she's like maybe later.
Yeah.
I'll get some later.
But it backfired because like right when Shirogane and Kaguya were like right in front of the balloon and everything, the balloon pops and
Well, so basically they were standing together. No, Shinigami was pumping it, and then he finished pumping it, and he's like, "Oh, should I do the right thing and pop it on my own, or should I give it a Kaguya?" And he's like, I'm gonna give it to her. Yeah. But then Chica ended up eating. No, she was eating the oranges, and one of the pieces of oranges hit the balloon.
Not the pieces, it was the juice.
The juice just sprayed onto the balloon, and then that's when the balloon itself.
That's when it popped and
it was a big balloon too. At that point, it was so huge.
Yeah.
At that point,
obviously over exaggerating, it blew up the whole school.
Yeah, a little bit. The opening plays, and then you see like all the characters. What I found kind of
I like that whole scenario where it was showing all the characters.
Yeah.
I like how it also showed their voice actors too.
Yeah.
That was also a really clever touch.
Yeah, so that was enjoyable when everything was just popping out while the explosion was happening, the pink explosion all over the
I was
area.
joking that like what was cool was that this also like expanded into space, which
we get
DNA didn't have that, so that was kind of funny.
Yeah, we get a shot of the freaking dust of the balloon make a heart pink shape in space.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
And you see Kaguya like trying to. They're still going at each other. Like they're the only ones that get off from the rubble and stuff. And Kaguya thinks like, oh, he's gonna grab my hand. It's like, oh, I have to grab her hand. So it was enjoyable. Like this, it was just so good. Like it's definitely an ending to that we can just kind of like go back to and talk about for a long time. It was great. The season itself was just great. Then we can finally skip to the talking about how we felt about the season as a whole because this is the end.
The end for this season.
For this season,
there's going to be a third season.
Hopefully,
for sure.
I'm really hoping we do. So to get this out of the way, 9.5 for me. It is so well done. There was not a single episode in this show that I thought, man, it's like I could have done without this episode. This was a nice, complete package, and I'm definitely gonna be picking up like any Blu-rays and such with this and season 1. Retroactively, I haven't gotten season 1, but I want to get season 1 and 2 now because this is just so good. It's a great show. So this is a 9.5 for me. I'd say even in combination with season 1, I'd say it's a 9.5 as a package as a whole. Cause it's just great. Cause I think
just took the words out of my mouth, man. But that's more to that. Yeah, very great season, great show. Multiple times where I'm dying laughing over the idiot stuff that these characters do. Great character development. We get like very great moments for each one of them. Like the character development is just off the roof, and just the jokes they make, the references they make, it's just out of this world, literally speaking. And but yeah, it's just great time. Both seasons, both hit out of the park. It's just a great old time. I love every minute of it, and my rating would be 9 because I want to see what season 3 will have to offer.
Yeah.
And if it's anything close to season 2 or season 1, like I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So 9 for me.
All right, for me, I give this.
Drum roll? You want a drum roll?
Yeah. I give it a 9.5. I really enjoyed this one. I enjoy it way better than season 1. Mm-hmm. Because this season, I think, was one of the most hilarious comedy anime for me.
Yeah.
For top, I guess this would be my number 1 for comedy wise.
Nice.
Oh damn!
And I really enjoyed it. There was so many comedic moments and serious moments
that worked really well.
Really worked well. Like there would be like some sections that would be, you know, comedic, and then some serious, and then some, you know,
did really well. Yeah.
some enjoyable episodes, pretty much. And opening was fine. I liked it. I didn't like it as much as season 1's opening, but you know, that depends on people.
I mean,
but
you gotta give her props.
yeah.
It was still the same singer.
it's still the same singer.
Yeah, so
Daddy Daddy Do is rocking. I immediately, like, I had to add it to my phone, but I do agree that I prefer Love Dramatic, the first opening. Yeah.
No, but both good songs.
They complement each other really well.
Yeah.
Yes.
It still carries the same spirit as the first season.
It does.
I like
But-
when animes do that. Like, you know, they keep like the same singer and go through it. But I know you can't do it all the time. But
Yeah.
it's a good
That
touch.
Yeah, so that's this show is really enjoyable. You get to see the other characters from their point of view, you know.
Yeah.
There's so many points of view for every, I guess, mini characters too, like certain characters too. We could see whatever they talked about, or you know,
Yeah.
their life in school too. That was pretty cool.
Definitely a must watch. If you take anything
For
from this
sure.
podcast, watch Love is War.
For sure.
For comedic,
This is
the
my
bit-
favorite anime of the season. I'll
Yeah.
say that.
Comedic
This is right
wise,
here.
Yeah,
I
it's
enjoyed it.
Undeniable.
All right. To cap things off with the anime, we're gonna be talking about, of course, Great Pretender. This one's nowhere near close to be finishing. I'll say that right now. This one's only on episode 4 that we're doing. We're doing the same thing with BNA. But yeah, to kind of start things off with this episode, pretty great episode all around. We get more backstory regarding Makoto, with how he was when he was a child this time, not when he was an adult. But at this time as a child,
They were in
with
the
his
courtroom.
He gets to see his father
In
In
action.
action.
as a lawyer. And he had a lot of admiration. He was a very star-eyed child. But you know, it was all just in the past, of course. We actually do get to the present relatively soon, talking about kind of this whole situation going on. It's still a continuation of the whole him creating that drug
In front
and
of him.
how screwed he is. Yeah. it's great. But actually, the interesting thing is that we actually get more development for
Salazar.
the Salazar, the bodyguard, actually.
Yeah.
The dude that's actually supposed to be watching him, making sure that he's, protected, quote unquote.
Household arrest, basically.
It's basically what it is. Yeah.
Keeping him out of trouble.
Keeping him out of trouble, which
In
I guess
check.
inadvertently means that he can keep himself out of trouble. And so he goes around on dates, pretty much. They're on dates. I'm thinking about it right now. They're on dates.
It's not a date.
Well, I mean, because he's basically
No,
going
the
wherever
thing
he
is that
wants.
he didn't go wherever he wanted. He just told him like, "Oh, I want to go somewhere."
Like baseball, let's go watch
anything.
baseball.
Yeah.
And he finds out early on in the episode, he finds out that Salazar actually had a wife and a child. And he finds out that the wife actually passed away due to an accident, due to a car accident. But the child is still alive and well, but he's living in foster care. So he gets to go see him every Sunday, which coincidentally was what that day was.
That real
day.
life.
Yeah.
That real life stuff.
Yeah. I gotta go see my kid. I gotta go see my kid, but work comes first.
Yeah.
So Makoto was actually pretty nice, and he's like, okay, if you want to go where I want to go, I want to go here. I want to go see your kid and everything.
Yeah.
So the kid was really he was
Sweet
really
kid.
sweet. Yeah, he's like, hey Dad, you're here. Oh, who's this Chinese guy? I was like, oh, he's Japanese. Like, oh, he's a samurai. Yay, that's pretty cool. And they go to not Six Flags, but Five Flags.
Well, we think it's 5.
This is what we called it.
Yeah.
And still, like it was pretty innocent and it's pretty cool.
His name was Tommy, right?
Tom, yeah, his name was
Tom?
Tom.
Yeah.
And yeah, so as that was going on, Makoto heads over to the bathroom, and he gets a little run-in with the LAPD,
and
the
FBI agents.
Yeah, and they find out all the dirt on him. They're like, okay, we know
hey,
what you're going on.
Hey, we'll get you out of this if we give you these glasses.
But
you're our guy.
You gotta wear these glasses.
You gotta wear these
glasses. We're not letting you go.
I like that interaction though, cause like you're just going to the bathroom and they literally stop him in mid piss.
Yeah.
And the FBI was nice enough to zip it back up.
But maybe he did it. I doubt it.
I don't know, bro.
He had his hands tied to the
man.
Oh, that's true. And you hear the zip.
Yeah, they were courteous to zip his pants back up, I guess. So that was interesting.
Didn't let him finish, man.
Jeez.
But yeah,
so he got sat down on the toilet seat, and then that's when they explained the glasses. But after that, he went back to the.
Mm-hmm. And so of course he's in cahoots. So now Makoto's in cahoots with the FBI. Which just kind of puts him in a bad pickle.
He's been in a bad pickle.
Oh,
He's been in a bad pickle.
He's in a bad pickle
last
during this
episode.
point.
And what sucks is that the renovations for the meth lab was finally near completion.
Yeah.
But
they said the next day he'll be good.
Yeah, he'll be good. And like what sucks is that he finds out pretty much around a little bit before.
Oh, he found out the teddy bear had a camera.
Yeah, the teddy bear was actually a camera, and it was actually recording everything that was going on. And so
then the party.
He figured out that oh shoot, I'm screwed because they pretty much found out what's going on with me. So party happens. The director is having a great time and everything like that. But then he talks about the fact that there's a rat.
New member. No, he says new member.
Well, he's a new member, but
new members have joy.
More importantly, that there's a rat among us.
Yeah, he smells rat.
Wait, no, but first he was introducing everyone, right?
Yeah,
the new members and stuff, and then he said
I think he was just trying to send the message.
Yeah,
you got a baseball bat, and he sent the message pretty good by attacking
this old man's balls.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He didn't. Oh, well, he was technically the rat too, right?
Oh, he was. Yeah, he was the rat.
Yeah, he was the rat.
Okay.
I
thought he literally just wanted to
No, I don't think he would just go and aim for the guy.
Hey man, that's
without knowing.
That's a goon's life, bro. You expect the unexpected.
Yeah, it's like that one scene. It's like that one scene from Goodfellas.
Yeah. I was expecting.
That's funny they referenced that.
They did. I was like, oh damn.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this looks like the De Niro right here. Yeah, that's really cool. But then they were able to clear up the day after they were able to clear up what was going on with that, and that the teddy bear Salazar found out, but all Salazar cared for was the fact that as long as there's no bodily harm going to him, I don't care what happens with his money. His money can just go burn in hell for all I care.
Well, he started telling him oh man, why are you doing this with this guy?
Kid.
Yeah, no, well, he was telling him about the kid, and then why is he still doing this mafia thing? You should do your gang thing,
Yeah.
Stick to your gang thing, but then Salazar's like, nah, man.
The pay is good here.
That money don't give me nothing, man. Being in a gang is not good. I'm not getting anything out of it.
So I gotta do the mafia.
Yeah.
Gotta get out, get a good life from my kid.
Yep.
And that's when obviously our guy, finally decides to work with the FBI, and then he gives us condition.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yo, one condition, you get Salazar out of this.
And that was the end of the episode. All around, it was pretty good.
That was kind of cool,
Yeah, it was sweet of him to do, because he's just a goon to us, but to him it's like.
And plus, it kind of gets Makoto out of the situation, so pretty good all around. So we'll see what the next episode has in store for us.
Yeah, very anticipated for the next episode. How he's gonna make that.
Definitely.
That drug.
All right, and now moving on away from anime, and now into
somewhat anime,
and now into
game
somewhat
news.
Anime and game news.
This was surprising to me when
Cyberpunk.
I found out.
I did not know anything about it. I was surprised.
Yeah.
You were the one that told me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found out
that
yesterday.
Cyberpunk 2 days ago, as of this recording, Cyberpunk has announced Cyberpunk and Trigger, so CD Projekt Red and Trigger announced that Cyberpunk Edge Runners anime is being worked on. It's gonna be released in 2022. It's not gonna have anything to do story-wise. It's not gonna have anything
It's
to
a
do
standalone.
with. It's a standalone thing.
10
It's based on
episodes.
the universe of Cyberpunk.
Yep. it's
Same
a-
universe.
Same universe, but
10 episodes.
yes. Do you have anything else to say? Yeah, so it's a 10 episode series based off the IP of Cyberpunk, and it's also really cool too because like I always thought that Cyberpunk is more of like an anime thing, or half an anime thing, half a Hollywood thing, and so now it all comes back full circle, which is really cool. And the fact that they got Studio Trigger to do it is I feel like is a really good move because they're perfect for this kind of
Yeah, it
stuff.
was like the best choice they could make.
Yeah.
They're known for like great animation, great
Yeah,
color.
great animation, great character design, great everything pretty much, and it's I have
The coloring on the trigger in general
Yeah.
is really awesome, and
for
to
sure,
have
yeah.
Cyberpunk on it, because Cyberpunk has that different tones, like
Yeah.
different tones of color
neon
and
colors.
stuff.
Very
Neon
much
colors,
so, yeah.
and Trigger
So-
has that similar kind of thing too, where they have like different type of colors too.
Yeah.
They never stay
So-
to a specific thing.
Yeah, and so the thing I kind of got out of this is the fact that this is, well, first off, this is a teaser. There's no actual animation done because this isn't going to be coming out until 2022.
Yeah, it's a long time from now.
So
Yeah.
it's going to be a long time coming, and from what
That's
I'm
all,
seeing,
that's
like,
the only thing that's upsetting.
yeah, and from what I'm seeing, how they're going to be handling this, it's going to be very similar to how they handled Animatrix. Not Trigger, but like how Japan handled Animatrix in conjunction with the Matrix movies.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of like how I see it. So it's really gonna be interesting to see kind of like where this is gonna go and everything.
That's a good reference, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
very good. Yeah. I'm very excited about it. Obviously this is barely rising up from the roots, so
Yeah,
we didn't
so-
get to see any teaser or
There's
anything.
a-
Just a poster.
Well, good thing, because it's 2 years from now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have a little bit of waiting time.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
Hopefully they give us like at least time, like
Yeah.
before showing us anything.
True.
Just show us 1-2 images this year, but that's it. Don't give us a
Yeah.
trailer or anything.
Yeah.
Save that till later on,
Yep.
once it's like a year.
And it's
close.
gonna be on Netflix,
Mhm.
so that's another grab Netflix got.
Yep. All right. So and then
And I think, I guess there's not gonna be like books or anything around this. It's gonna be its own original anime. It's no book implemented into it, so it's,
well,
you get me? Or
yeah.
game.
Yeah, no, I
edited.
get you. Like no comic book
Yeah.
or like visual novel.
So it's
Well,
just-
we don't know that yet because this
Well,
the game hasn't come out yet. So
yeah,
we
we'll
don't know
we'll
yet.
see. Yeah.
we'll see. Yeah,
we
that's
might.
true.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Now moving on to the
Video
next
game news.
video game, like actual video game news. We finally have news and trailers for the Metal Slug mobile game titled Metal Slug Code J. It's developed by Tencent, and it looks cool. It's a
it's a remake.
it's a remake of the first Metal Slug, but
Yeah.
it has a
A different
it's
3D.
It's 3D polygonal. Yeah, it's 3D.
Yeah.
It's 3D polygonal game,
Yeah.
and it's you have an overworld and stuff, kind of like similar to. It's kind of similar to kind of like the Arc System games.
Yeah.
Fighting games.
Yeah.
Where like you have like a little
That's a
lobby
good-
and
that's a
you
good
can be able to
example.
move around in a 3D space and
Oh,
stuff.
that was cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
The little hub world.
The little hub world,
Yeah.
and you get to see all the characters there too. That was awesome.
Yeah. I think for me personally, I kind of wish that this had like more than just iOS and Android. I kind of wish it kind of had like a like a low key kind of like a like an arcade sort of like console thing.
Yeah,
that they
but
had.
this is.
But this is the
what-
perfect. Yeah, this is honestly the perfect thing.
To
you
tell
can
you
do
the truth,
for-
that's actually how it is right now.
Yeah.
And for an iOS and Android game, it's pretty good
It
for
is,
what it
yeah.
is. It looks exactly like the game, like the
oh, yeah,
original
the art
game.
direction and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the art itself is also.
Well,
looks
not the
pretty cool.
art. They try to differentiate from the original game, at least art-wise, but they still kept the same format of
I'll
having
say this:
the
that
game.
Marco and Tarma look very different from
Well,
Fio and
I guess because of its, they went from 2D to like 3D, like CGI kind of video, I guess, or
Yeah.
trailer. Their trailer was CGI.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I like how they look.
Mm.
Their design is pretty cool.
I don't know, man. Marco has I'm still trying to get used to.
You're trying to get used to
with
it?
the hair.
Yeah, the hair.
I mean, Marco and
But that's
Marco
his.
and
That's
are
his
the
whole
whole-
hair, though. You know.
Yeah,
his
but
flimsy-
it just looks weird in the 3D
in person.
one.
I guess
Yeah.
seeing in real life.
Yeah.
I mean, Marco as a whole, and just all the Metal Slug characters in general, have never really had a consistent art style. Like, their
Yeah.
art styles were always all over the place.
Yeah.
So, this is just another addition to that.
Yeah.
But I like the other guy. The other guy looks sick.
Oh, Tarma?
Yeah.
Tarma.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked really good.
Him and his bike.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was cool how they introduced it because they showed the tank, the Metal Slug itself, the
Yeah.
tank.
Yeah.
That was cool. I was like,
Very
yeah, with the little cannon just shoots the rocket. That was
Yeah.
Alright, question though. You think this is gonna be a free game? Or
No.
they're gonna sell
cool.
it?
I mean, it depends what their business model is going to be. If it's going to be...
That's tough. I don't
Right.
know. Depends. Like if they're going gotcha, maybe it's
It's going to be
If
free
it's
to-
gotcha, it
It's
has
free.
to be free no matter
Yeah.
what. But if it's like they're selling it, how much would you pay for it?
that's the thing. What was the other app game? The tower base. Did that one have
No, that was free.
that was free?
Yeah.
But
That-
did it have gotcha?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, ooh, they might.
I think it was either gotcha or you had to grind really a lot to get like units you wanted.
I
From
don't
last
know
time I
that.
remember playing
To
it.
tell you the truth, I don't know. They could go either that route or the other route.
I think they will sell it.
You think they'll sell the
And
game?
And I'll probably say like $7.
$7?
I think that would be the price.
For me? I think free.
Free? You think free? I doubt that.
You
bro.
doubt it?
What was you, Robert?
Oh, that's
I-
true. You know what? No, never mind. That's true.
I
it-
doubt that. Bro.
It's gonna be. It probably cost.
I'm completely out of the loop with how mobile games
Oh,
are priced.
mobile-
mobile games in general, yeah.
I mean,
don't know.
there is that subscription I remember from Apple where they do like a monthly subscription to play games. It might be in that format though.
But then would that work for Android?
I don't know about Android.
Yeah, because it's both Android and iOS.
I'm out of the loop. I would save $5 just to be safe, but like I have no idea. So.
We'll,
Yeah,
we'll
'cause
see what happens.
All this effort, I would sell it if I was 10 cent, knowing them.
Yeah, so far the game looks interesting.
Yeah.
Is it a game that I'm looking forward to? No, not as much.
You could just play the other one.
Yeah, not really. Yeah. So this is just a niche thing. Like if it were to be free, I'll download it, try it out. You know, if it's paid, I don't know if I would pay. Depends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just depends. All right then. I think that's pretty much it.
We
to
talked
talk
we
about.
talked about this way longer than I thought.
Yeah,
honestly. I honestly, for me personally, I didn't know.
Hey
what
man,
to say.
we're into the Metal Slug series, you know.
Yeah.
You like talking about it, you know. You want it to do well, you know.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
That's the King of the Rising, you know?
But the thing we're looking forward is the console game.
Yeah. No word
They
on that.
announced. Yeah, no word
That
yet.
one I'm really waiting to hear on.
Yeah.
Alright, and then the next thing we want to talk about is Min Min getting announced on to Smash Brothers.
Arms.
From Arms. I'll be honest, the only reason why I want to talk about this is because of the fact that Smash Brothers. We've known the fact that we're gonna get an Arms characters from like a good few months now, so that kind of broke, for me personally, broke the hype a bit. And from what I know
I
about
think
Arms,
that
it's,
the thing that affected the whole Smash thing is the whole thing that's happening right now. You know,
Oh, the
whole
pandemic?
that was the big issue, and that's what slowed down the Smash scene, I guess. You know, the
Yeah.
impact that got people to, you know.
Yeah, because Smash
this.
itself is not one of those games
Yeah, 'cause
that has.
To tell you the truth, I had a feeling maybe this character would have came out like a month ago or two. To tell you the truth.
I mean, that's. I don't know. It could be, but I mean, regardless,
It slowed down the release to the character, cause
yeah. I mean, also like Smash Brothers not having the best netcode is definitely doesn't really do itself any
I
favors.
mean Nintendo in general. Nintendo service is never that good.
Yeah, they're
Of
online.
course, even their store is really bad, because when you what do you call it? When you purchase a game, you can't return it back. You buy it, you buy it.
It's yours for good.
Yeah. Sorry if you didn't want the game.
But anyway, moving
So
on
Min
to
Min
the game.
is a
The
pretty
character.
interesting character. I did not expect this choice. I honestly thought it was gonna be Ribbon Girl.
Twintel?
Oh yeah, is that her name? I thought it was Ribbon
Her
Girl.
name was Twintel.
I didn't expect there was gonna be an arms character, to tell you the truth.
No, they announced
They
it.
announced
No,
the
I know,
arms,
a while ago, but I meant
It was
from that trailer.
I think
know.
this was another safe pick to Nintendo because
Yeah.
it's their property.
it's their
And the fact that
property.
they picked Min Min also makes sense too because she's also like she's pretty much like another like big face within the ARMS franchise itself. This is her, there's Springman, Twintel.
Well, to me in general, or what Sakurai said, it was pretty much everyone was the main character. But the thing is that there was favoritism towards Min Min over the game director from ARMS straight out said, "Hey, put Min Min, please." And then Sakurai agreed as well. And then of course the Japanese fandom joined along.
It's just mainly North America that's like all about Twintel.
Twin Tails. I wanted Twin Tails. You wanted Twin Tails.
I did want
He wanted
Twin
Twin Tails. But we had to end up,
But
it's fine. Min Min's fine.
cool.
Min
When
was
they
fine.
introduced the reveal trailer,
the reveal trailer,
she was pretty
we
cool.
enjoyed her.
Yeah. I like the trailer.
It was pretty
the
funny.
trailer that shows Captain Falcon and Kirby eating ramen and stuff was really cool.
It was funny. You know Sakurai's gonna put Kirby in there.
Yeah.
It's his baby right there. He just had to put Kirby. I don't know why Kirby would be there. I guess other than eat ramen.
Yeah.
But that was pretty funny. I love that little scene. You just see Captain Falcon and Kirby just eating them noodles like all dramatically too.
Yeah, that was really
You just
cool.
see Captain Falcon just slurp the noodles like crazy. He's like,
and then the last part is also when you see like Captain Falcon kind of switching roles where he's the waitress or waiter.
oh, towards
And
the
Min
end.
Min, yeah, and
Yeah,
Min
Min Min at first she
eating.
was in the back just seeing them, enjoy their food and stuff, and then of course you see the fight, and they try to do what they did with SNK, the Ken.
Mm-hmm.
That whole scene where they kept swapping like, oh, it's gonna be Springman, oh, it's gonna be
Oh, Terry,
my bad, Terry, yeah.
Well, say like
Sorry.
Ken.
No,
You fought Incineroar.
never mind. But yeah, it was that whole scene where they were jumping character to character, and then Min Min suddenly realized, oh, there's a fight, so she joins them, and
I mean, also the character herself. I mean, she looks pretty cool. Like she's mostly a range type character. But she doesn't seem all that fast. So I don't know how that's gonna.
Well, obviously, because she has the ability to hit front and back with her long arms. So I think it's gonna be interesting to see how people play her.
What I find kind of funny though is that I remember when Corrin first came out and like the distance was like always a huge factor because Corrin had like the longest front smash and everything because his lance hit her, or their lance had like a huge amount of range. And then after that you see like the Belmonts come out and then their forward smash also has like a huge amount of range. Now you have
with Min Min, it's really different because she's able to switch I guess her abilities from the ARMS game, where she could switch to the Dragon Hand, the boomerang thing, and then
kind of like Mega Man,
the Wrecking Ball. Yeah.
Yeah, like Mega Man. Mega Man could also be able to switch between like different robot
But
masters.
it's not a constant thing. You could actually whip it out whenever you want,
Yeah. Thankfully, it won't be randomized like certain other characters.
Oh yeah. So that's why I feel like that character could be played in different scenarios.
I'm just glad they had Dawson in this game.
But I'm kind of upset that it has to be the first female character as Min Min. I wanted a different. No, I'm not.
Yeah,
counting
technically,
those.
Violet
I'm not counting those. I'm not counting those.
Counts.
For me, I don't count.
as like just a pure like okay, this is the one single character. Yeah, I guess Min Min.
Yeah.
The first one. But I mean, we'll see. We still have 5 more slots, so we'll see where this goes.
That was kind of upsetting. the Mii skins. I was like Tekken. I was like,
You
no,
don't like Vault Boy?
Huh?
You don't like Vault Boy?
No, with Tekken.
Oh, that's what they had in the last game.
I know.
Yeah,
but
Heihachi.
They're just reusing them.
I was like, why? Why couldn't you give me Jen or someone else, man?
We'll see next DLC.
Callie and Maria for Splatoon. Then Vault Boy.
Yeah.
I was amazed.
Volbo was the new one.
Yeah.
Fallout 1 and 2 Vault Boy too, not even like the newer ones.
That was cool.
Aren't they all the same?
Not, I mean, there's subtle differences. Like I personally have played like just like 1, 2, and 3. Like I haven't even finished like, any of them.
Dude,
but
I keep getting surprised with these the Mii fighters. I'm like, whoa!
Yeah.
I never expect this character.
Cuphead,
Cuphead, Sans,
those are weird picks.
and Vault Boy. Out of everything, I'm like, Vault Boy, really?
Very, very weird.
Yeah.
Very weird.
I didn't expect it.
Oh, that means Vault Boy can't get in Smash now.
Okay. Anyone's
Anyway,
accepted.
so now moving on to our final piece of video game news, or just news in general, what we talk about is Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time.
It's about time.
It is about
It's about
time.
time. So, yeah, it's about time.
Oh, literally, it's about time.
About
There's,
time. Yeah,
there's
we have
an
a fourth
ability that's
installment.
a time.
It's gonna be coming
involved.
out in October. What? That's crazy.
Oh,
Wait,
No.
who's making this game?
it's the people that made the what is it? Spiral. The Spiral.
Trilogy?
Yeah.
Toys for Bob's.
Oh,
Toys for
okay.
Bob.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So not Vicarious Visions. It's just kind of. It's kind of disappointing because they were the ones that worked on the Crash games. But then again.
No, that people didn't like those in general. but-
Really?
Yeah.
Nobody liked
Everyone
Crash
just
remakes?
talks about the main 3, and then the rest is just.
Oh no,
by-
no, no,
by
no,
Naughty
Vicarious
Dog.
Visions made but Vicarious Visions made the Crash remakes though.
Yeah. No one.
No one cared about the Crash remakes.
Oh,
What
I know.
the?
Yeah, he's talking about the
Insane Trilogy.
Insane Trilogy.
Insane Trilogy. I don't know.
What? I'm pretty sure everybody loved Insane Trilogy.
All
right, everybody.
Well, we don't. We'll see.
Comment
Anyways.
below. Comment below. Do
Comment
you think
below.
Insane Trilogy was good?
Anyways, it's about time we talk about the new Crash 4 game.
Yeah.
So, because of the fact that this goes off of the Insane Trilogy itself and not like the original games, Wrath of Cortex, Twinsanity, Crash of the Titans, they're all written out of existence.
All cut.
All cut. They've only ever fought against Cortex 3 times.
But I like the gameplay they showed off
Yeah.
in the trailer. It was very cool, and the music they picked.
It reminded me a lot of Rayman 3. Because
Yeah.
Rayman 3 had like all the different power-ups and abilities and suits and stuff that you can wear. So that's kind of the vibe I was getting. I'm looking forward to it.
You wanted to know the price.
Yeah, I just saw
$60
it.
bucks. It's a $60 game,
Yeah, $60 game.
which is hefty.
It's fine.
Especially with how much you get for Insane Trilogy, like content-wise and stuff. I don't know.
This is a new game.
I know it's
the
a new
fourth,
game, but
the fourth game.
I know it's
continuation.
A new game. I understand that, but
Hey
I'm
man, at the
hoping-
time they were pricey too.
that
the-
was back then money.
That's true. You have a point there.
Yeah.
So
Eventually the game's gonna get cheap. How about that?
Yeah.
I mean that's a given.
Well,
If
yeah.
you're
You're
not
not gonna-
Nintendo,
come
if you're
on,
not
man.
Nintendo, you'll be fine.
You're not gonna give a new game a cheap price.
That's crazy how they're not having a Switch release for this though.
That's true.
Yeah, because I
It
remember.
might be later
eventually
down
it-
the road.
Yeah, eventually it'll pop
I
up.
think most games do that now.
Yeah.
Oh,
If
yeah.
it's
they wait a little bit. Yeah.
Unless it's like Nintendo itself, then they mostly wait for it.
Yeah. So
release.
we'll see.
Art style looks pretty cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it feels like it's a natural evolution of the Insane Trilogy style. So that one's really cool.
It's funny that most of these games, these new games, are coming up with the time
Element,
time element now.
Ratchet
now
and Clank,
Yeah.
Crash.
well, Crash Warped was the first game in the series to have time.
Well, I mean, the new games now. There's a lot of
Oh.
new games that are coming out
Yeah.
that involve the time thing. So
Yeah,
That's pretty
well, hopefully
cool.
it's implemented well. I'm not expecting anything Chrono
well,
Trigger
I
related,
saw
but-
some gameplay of it. It was pretty cool. They slowed down the time, so
Yeah.
where platform is like dropping so fast, and then you press a button, and then all of a sudden just slows down.
Like
and
Beautiful Joe.
stops. Yeah.
Yeah, Beautiful Joe.
Man, I'm just glad platformers are coming back, bro. Like Ratchet
back.
and
Yep.
Clank, Crash, that new game, Kenna, I think, and Bridge of Spirits.
Yeah. Kino. Yeah, Kino.
Yeah.
There's multiple. There's
They're making a comeback though.
Yeah, they're
like
coming
we're
back.
getting back to the lighthearted, fun games, like
Fun style, yeah.
instead of like this dark, realistic.
Moody,
Yeah.
gray, all grayed
Action.
out.
Yeah.
I blame Shadow of the Colossus. Did I ever tell you that?
Why?
Because Shadow of
Why?
the Colossus was a great game, but that was the first game but that and Eco were the first games to have that muddled kind of look to it. And because of that, and ever since those games came out, everything else has just been all grayed out and muddled.
That game's a masterpiece.
I don't
It is a
think
masterpiece, but I'm just saying. that's the one I pinned my blame on. And with that, this has been the Anime Squad podcast. My name is Robbie,
And this is Omar.
And this is David.
and don't forget to like the video, comment the video, and subscribe if you guys want to see more of this one. So next week is going to be a little bit different. We're going to be talking more on the next season of anime, so be sure to tune into that, and also be sure to check out our Spotify for the audio versions of the podcast that will go up a little bit after the YouTube one. All right then.
Guys.
See you guys.
Bye.
Goodbye, guys.